All right, we wrap with Reusse every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday on the show. You can find Reusse Unchained also in podcast form, anywhere you find your podcasts. So, Pat, well, Judd has a new buzzword, so I think I should just turn it over to you. I heard the word collaboration a couple times, which I know you guys love.
Yes, love
in the Tim Connolly press conference yesterday with the 3 key owners of the Timberwolves. So, Judd, what's the new buzzword that you picked up?
Okay, so the new phrase now. So the Vikings with Kwesi are intentional in their decision making.
Yes, intentional decisions. They make intentional decisions.
Intentional decisions. Tim Connolly, the new phrase here, which can be put on the wall, which can be painted on, is this: we make informed mistakes because we can't be guided by fear.
Informed mistakes.
Informed
So when we make
mistakes.
when we make mistakes, they are informed because you can't be guided by the fear of said mistakes.
That's his explanation for a couple of his mistakes out there in Denver then, right? Informed mistakes. Okay.
Yeah.
It would be, he's saying that the process is the important thing. You're not going to bat 1,000. And so as long as your decisions are informed decisions, then the mistakes are not really.
So they're intentional.
So Josh Okogie was an informed mistake, and Jared Culver was an informed.
Well, that might be an uninformed mistake.
Gerson got distracted. There's probably something else going on.
Uninformed mistake. Okay. Full stop, I'm told, was big. What's that mean? What's a full stop? What's that mean? Full stop in the organization, or what are we full stopping?
A full stop is just you say full stop as an emphasis point. If you're trying to make a point, it's like saying period. So if I were to say to you, Pat, Luis Ariz is the best hitter on the Twins, period, it would be the same thing as saying, Declan, am I right on this? Hey, Luis Ariz is the best hitter on the Twins, full stop.
Yep. Okay. And they use that one. They like using that one. Full stop.
Yeah, kids love full stop. Full stop. It's usually like when you're trying to like argue a point or something, and like Kirk Cousins is great. Full stop. That's kind of a good
argument's
way
over. Yeah.
And that was by Mark, right? Mark said full stop.
Yeah. Like somebody said full stop, but
I think it was Mark.
Somebody asked me on Twitter, "What's my view of full stop?" And I said, "I think it's something that most of us don't do when we're supposed to. When we get to a stop sign, we kind of glide through them. But full stop, I know I flunked my driver's test the first time 100 years ago because I didn't make a full stop at the stop sign in Clayton. You know that? It's been a bad habit my entire life not making a full stop, but."
I didn't know you flunked your driver's test.
This is only once.
Okay.
And which is, back then they figured out any reason you could to flunk you. But now I think they just want to get rid of you. So if you don't hit another car, they just.
That actually happened to me. I was taking my driver's test in Buffalo, Minnesota, 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, so there was legendary stories about the guy who did the driver's test, this older guy, and the stories I had heard for the 2 or 3 years that he was the guy who coughs.
Mm-hmm.
He was known as the guy who coughs. And so we're going through my driver's test. We're driving around downtown, small Buffalo, Minnesota, and we get to I think it was the parallel parking drill.
Oh yeah.
And there were cones. It wasn't like a live drill. There were cones. And I hit one of the cones.
Can't do that.
And he said, "Okay, stop. Let's just keep going." And so the rest of the time, I'm like, "Well, I hit a cone, and he didn't even allow me to finish it, so I probably failed."
Yeah.
So we get back to the parking lot, and so we pull into the parking spot, and I'm just racing. My mind is, "Oh my God, I just failed my driver's test." And he starts filling out the paper silently, and then all of a sudden. And I'm looking over like, oh, is he okay? It was like a 3-minute coughing fit. He had to open the door and he couldn't catch his breath. And I offered him cough drop, but he couldn't speak words, and so he just gave me the thumbs up, like you're good.
He passed.
Oh my God.
So you passed?
I think he passed me because he couldn't
You
deal
can't
with
hit
the
a
coughing
cone?
fit.
No, worth it having all those germs flying around the room. What the hell?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We've all made up our. Everybody Did we win the press conference? That's all I want to know. Was it a victory or?
Well, Well, for the most part, Glenn being up there didn't help the cause. So
Yeah,
I
well,
will
the
say
guy
that.
they still owe. If they want Glenn not to be up there, come up with the other 1.25 billion. If you're supposed to have all that money, where the hell is it, Lori? Come on, let's go.
I don't know. I feel like Judge shortchanging. First of all, A-Rod would never tell a lie, and so when A-Rod says, quote, someone would ask him, hey, what was the process like, working with Glenn and taking someone to get permission? And A-Rod said, quote, Glenn led the way in this process, and we followed.
Sure. Hey, what's the new thing? VCR or VSM or what's the?
Oh, that's what Lavelle had. Yeah, Vision. Yeah, I'll find it.
Oh, did he come up with that, or did they come up with that?
I think
it's Vision Capital People.
Yes, but I saw it in
Mark Lowry talks about this, even going back to like his other. So for every company he's founded, his three pillars are Vision, Capital, People. So what are you doing?
We still have two core values to reveal, though, don't we? We've only revealed one, right? There's three. Where the hell are the other two? Let's go. What do we?
Well, what's the first core value? I don't know if I
can't remember, but they did reveal one a few months ago. But one of the core values should be when we build the new arena, we're going to end up paying for most of it. I got news for these guys. All the crap they were flinging yesterday, there is no government body in this state ready to stand up and help you build, to a huge extent, $1 billion new arena, which you guys want to do. You're not going to get more than half, probably less than half from Minneapolis can't afford it. Hennepin County can't afford it anymore. The money that was rolling in at Hennepin County to pay for Target Field, that is slowed down. Where are they going to get the money? Because that's everybody who loves these two new guys. 2 years from now, when they tell you new arena or bust, then we'll see what they think, right?
And what's amazing is A-Rod, in one of his answers, he said we want to be first class in every category, and then he listed off like 6 different things. The first thing he listed was an arena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We ain't building it for you, pal. And if you want to go to Seattle or Vegas, you're going to have to give the NBA $2 billion before you go there. So, good luck. If these guys were this free with their money, Glenn wouldn't have been at the table yesterday. He'd already been paid off. This was not some Glenn plan to run the team for the next 3 years. It was to give these guys time to pay him. So,
and also, can we just keep Glenn's microphone off, or just give him a microphone that's permanently on? Because he had microphone issues yesterday, and I heard the issue was he was supposed to be turning it on and off when he wasn't supposed to talk.
That's too much instruction.
Two solutions to this. Just don't give him a mic, or give him a mic that's permanently on. He's not going to remember to flip up that switch on and off. Come on.
No, that's too much to ask.
He's older than me. Hell no. He's not.
You've never forgot to turn your mic off before?
Yeah, well, sometimes I've forgotten to turn on the audio or some damn thing. But anyway, anyway, we don't know. The most disturbing thing to me was the quote that what Cat needs is stability. No, Cat needs somebody to rebound and a point guard. And this idea that D'Angelo Russell making big shots was a huge part of going 46 and 36. He probably won about 4 games for him at that price.
Hey, Pat, though, the Conley quote, though, if you go back and look at the quote, he basically said D'Lo is great when he gets hot or he's streaky or something. I think he's gone. That quote to me basically means
then
he's
don't
not
tell me what he
enough.
needs is stability. If he needs stability, then you're not changing that big of a piece. But I agree with you.
Yeah, I think it's
what I'm saying is just remember all these press conferences, nobody tells the truth. Okay. It's all bull crap from Mensa to everybody is full of it up to their ears. Why you got to have this great thought when you're listening to these guys that journalists are supposed to have. Why is this SOB lying to me? Because they all are lying to you. Okay, you gullible saps out there who think that this crap you hear at a press conference, an introductory press conference, means anything. It doesn't. It does not mean anything, okay? Nobody wins or loses a press conference. They only in your mind do they win a press conference. It's all bullcrap.
Listen, now if you're being intentional about your lying, then I'm fine with it. Then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Is that an informed mistake, though?
Yesterday, we were talking about how the old fans can't get tickets anymore for the Twins games because of the modern stuff. And I texted Declan to tell him to ask me about the Blizzard family. Mm-hmm. I got to tell you guys about the Blizzard family. This is a long time ago. So long ago that Glenn Schwartz was covering the A's for the San Francisco Examiner, and he later had a long run as the Chronicle sports editor. He was a great guy. But early in the Metrodome, maybe 84, 85, he says to me, it's the middle of July. It's like 96 degrees outside. And these three people, two older people, and then somebody maybe 50, come walking down the aisle in winter garb, right? They got winter coats. Mom and dad have, I don't know if they remember, they had overshoes or anything. So I do a little investigation, and it's a guy from up in the Moorhead area who's a professor, and he's a single, and he takes care of his parents, and his parents are probably in their 80s, but they can't stand the Metrodome air conditioning because it makes them too cold. So they would send in their money as soon as the schedule came out. They would send in their money for all the day games at the Metrodome. And like Thursday, Saturday, they'd send in their money for all the day games. I checked with the ticket guys, and they were such and such. They were considered like semi-season ticket holders, but they'd only go to day games because they wanted to drive home at night. But anyway, Schwartz and I named them the Blizzard family because they looked like they were coming in from, a storm back home in the hinterland, like this. And we named them the Blizzard family. And so then this was before text. So I used to have to call them and say, wherever he was in some press box, I'd say, get me Schwartz. The Blizzard family's here today, Schwartz. They said they want to say hello to you. I wonder whatever happened to the Blizzard family. Obviously, mom and dad are long gone. But those are the people, they would not be able to buy tickets today. I can guarantee you the Blizzard family would be shut out of Twins games because they got to buy stuff electronically.
So we're done with stubs everywhere at this point, right?
I think. Does any team in town have them anymore? I don't know. Yeah, probably not.
I don't think so.
Gosh, I mean, I have a drawer full of ticket stubs. Yes. I tried to save tickets from every game. I mean, there's something nostalgic about it.
It's ridiculous. It's paper printed. We got paper. We're throwing away 800 million pounds of plastic a day and thrown to the ocean, but we're worried about ticket stubs being a hazard to the environment. What a bunch of crap.
Do you guys do paper boarding passes, or are you all for flying, or do you only do electronic?
I print them out and do that.
Yeah, print them out.
I'm not doing
See, I guess I'm a hypocrite because I don't.
What if I get there and my phone's out? I say, oh, hell, I forgot to recharge my phone. What am I going to do?
I mean, you could keep your phone charged before you go to the airport.
But there's something special about that piece of paper. Because you got to take it away from me.
Yes, yes.
I am the progressive commercials of You're Becoming Your Parents. I still go to the airport and print off the printed boarding pass, so I do it every time. I want to identificate. What if I lose my phone? What if I lose my phone in the lift, or what if it breaks them in the security line? I still can get on the flight.
Yep. Plus, those people who walk up there and show them their phone, they're arrogant. The arrogance, the pomposity of going up there and saying, get out of my way. I got this. I got this phone here.
Well, and then they gotta
Yeah,
swipe
some
it
of them
sometimes, and like they're swiping. It's like, come
Swipe it.
on.
No, they don't. It's a QR
Someone's trying to
code.
call them as they're scanning
Yeah,
it. You know, it's a
But
whole
they're
thing.
trying to
I'm
scan
with
it.
Pat
It's
on
a
this.
pain.
It's the same thing as the people who pop their windshield wipers up when those winters,
Yes.
you know.
I love how you hate them.
They're just
The weenies.
trying, I hate them son of a guns. They're just trying to be so much smarter than you. You look how bright we are. We got our windshield wipers.
Yeah.
On, you know?
Yes.
There's some annoying stuff going on in my life today. So anyway.
Yeah, what else? Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I had fun writing a Dark Star column today on the 10th anniversary of his death.
God, 10 years.
I kind of went from the media angle. There's a million. My wife was saying, well, you didn't write about this or that. I said, well, God, we could have written. You didn't write about going out to San Diego with him and playing golf every year and stuff like that. I said, well, no, I could have written 3 chapters, you know, on this crazy son of a gun. But it was, it's always fun to get different stories on him. Dan Cook, I like Dan Cook's first time he meets, you know, Dan, right?
Yeah.
He's CCO guy, very hair challenged. First time
He is follically challenged. Yes, he's a Badger fan too.
First time he meets him, he's in a staff meeting, and Dan walks in, and Dark says, "Who's this guy?" He says, "That's the new producer, Dan." He says, "Hey, Dan, great to meet you, but wear a hat next time. That head of yours is blinding me."
I don't think I've ever seen Dan without a hat since that.
Well, since then, probably because of Dark, he probably decided to go with the hat. But there's a million stories about this guy in 10 years, man. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is hard to believe.
What
Created himself out of nothingness. So that's what's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the sports show. What's your give us a sports show story? I'm putting you on the spot here, but
oh God, I guess the more of the battles between him and Sid. You know, some of us, we quibbled and we argued, but with Sid and Dark, it was personal. Here's a good story I heard that revolves around him. Not so much the sports show, but he was bad-mouthing some guy who was a mutual friend of both of them. How can you stand that SOB? He's a lion. You know, Sid just bad-mouthing him up and down, something. And then Sid's trying to get 4 tickets for a Wild game, you know, that's sold out, and he's trying to get 4 tickets at a bargain price. And Darky comes up with the tickets in like 5 minutes and gives them to Sid and what's the charge? And Dark says, they're fine, don't worry about it. And Sid, the next time the guy sees Sid, he says, you know, that Dark's a pretty good guy. He's not a bad guy after bad mouthing him because he got him some. Because Sid was the guy, the king of the free tickets, and Dark got him free tickets. So that kind of reversed the strategy. Probably made him peaceful, like for a day or so. I guess the lasting thing of it is he never sat down to do a radio show or the TV show or anything else having any idea what he was going to say next. You know, it was always absolutely off the cuff. What I remember is at 1 a.m, I happened to be in a car listening to him, and he's interviewing this Republican. He was a Republican. He would have been a Trumper, and Dark. And he's interviewing this guy who's run for governor, Republican, who's run for mayor in San Francisco, and of course got his ass kicked. You know, but this is on a Thursday, and he's trying to ask the guy, how's the election going to look? How's it looking? How's everything looking? And the guy finally says, Dark, I got beat Tuesday. And Dark said, oh yeah, I knew that. I just wondered how it, you know. I got beat Tuesday, you know. It was election day, Tuesday. Like Thursday.
Oh my God.
What a beauty.
Legend,
what a
man.
Beauty.
Legend.
He was a legend, to say the least. But I don't know. He had a big party about at the Hoyt's that was kind of spontaneous. He had a bunch of his friends show up and ate in the back room at Hoyt's, and I'm sure he got a big deal on it. But about 3 weeks before he died, maybe, and I'm wondering if he knew something was not going well, because it came out of nowhere. There was no reason for this beyond, hey, let's all get together. And he wasn't good the last month before he died. So
yeah, God.
Anyhow, as I pointed out today too, if he had to go, fairly early, it was probably a good time, because he was about even with the world right then, and he was that wasn't the case too often. He was when we all ended up making I paid for the obit in the paper, and then I paid for some of the stuff at the Interlochen at the memorial service, and to retrieve the money, we had to go through the estate, which was owned by the family of an heiress in Florida who Dark had hit up, that his mother was a friend of his mother who Dark had hit up for a pile of money. So we were he was running on funds that were, his idea was spend it now and worry about how you're going to pay for it later.
Yep. A true Renaissance man.
Front row seats at the Timberwolves games. He belonged there like I did, financially, but he had to be there. Maserati. He owned a Maz, man. His mom died. His mom died. He got her money. 3 weeks later, he had a Maz.
That's great. May interest you in a long-term investment? Nope, a Maserati. Actually,
he couldn't spend it fast enough. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he would go on just the trips and stories, and he lived such a big life.
Yeah, he did. He and I would go out to La Costa for about 4 or 5 years every year. We'd go out the week of the Eddie Reed handicap, because the first time we went out, the Eddie Reed, which was a nothing race, he'd call me up then for the next 4 years and said, the Eddie Reed is August 3rd. We got to be there. We can't miss the Eddie Reed. So that's when we'd go out, and we'd spend 3 days at La Costa playing golf, going to Del Mar, and going to Tijuana at night when you could still get across the border to watch highlight.
Oh my God.
And eat fish or some damn thing. And that was when you could still go across the border 3-4 days every year. Unbelievable. Sitting in the sauna, all of us fat guys sitting in the sauna. Sid Gilman, the old San Diego Chargers coach, North Minneapolis guy, was in there. All these old Jewish fellas with everything hanging out. It was fantastic.
It sounds like a blast.
It was a trip you couldn't miss, man. You had a chance to hang out with Dark for 3-4 days and listen to the biggest collection of BS you ever heard in your life.
Amazing. All right, so everyone go to the back room or go to Hoyt's tonight and celebrate with a buddy bowl for old Dark Star.
2 chops, not just one of these.
Well, one of them's $22. The second one's like $4 extra. It's a no-brainer.
Right. You know what? You got to get 2 to take the second one home.
100 steps from Target Field.
Yes, right.
98,
99, 100.
There are some people who suggested those 94 steps in between were never taken.
Well, I mean, you get motor transportation.
Not a big man on exercise, kind of like me. That's one thing we had in common. Not a lot of exercise.
The endorsements on the sports show, I miss them to this day.
Oh, God.
Best part of the sports show, no offense, was the endorsements.
I heard a new one about him today that he said on the air that I didn't remember, and I won't identify this Timberwolves player, but they had hired a controversial player. I don't want to mention the guy's name, a guy with a troubled past. And Maxie mentioned to him on the show, I don't know why I forget this. He said, they've signed such and such. He says, oh, good. Now I'm going to have to bring 2 guns to the game.
Jeez, Dark. Oh, my gosh.
Lots of stuff that would never work in 2000.
No, probably not.
Problem now.
Tuck it away at 12:30 a.m. on CCO. All right.
True. All
right, Pat.
See ya.
Yeah, and Pat wrote an article, StarTribune.com, if you guys want to check out the tribute to Dark Star. By the way, that reminiscing presented by our friends at Federated Mutual Insurance Company. Federated's been around for over 100 years, helping business owners risk management tools and resources to help elevate your business. If you're looking to get your business to the next level, Federated can be a great guiding hand for you. Federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours.